Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to teach you 5 turns that you can use to beat a defender when they're on your back. Just before we get into them, I want to say a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is where I built my website, 7mlctraining.com. And from websites to analytics to marketing tools, they're the all-in-one place to grow your online presence and manage your business. But let's get into it. The first turn we're going to work on is the inside foot turn. So this is when the ball's on its way, defender on our back, and we're going to almost spin it 45 degrees past the defender into the open space. So it's really important that we set this up so that the defender thinks we're going one way, so that when we push the ball in the opposite direction, we have a lot more time on the ball. So as the ball's on its way to us, we start to open up our body in this direction. So if I'm Jeff here and I see this player start to open up, immediately I want to close down this space to stop them from turning, which then exposes my opposite side. So now that we've set our defender up, the next step is using the correct part of the foot to flick the ball into the space. We really want to flick it 45 degrees to make it a sudden action, which is going to catch that defender off guard. If we receive the ball and it's too much of a square touch to the side here, we're then going to have to take multiple touches to push it into the space, which gives this defender a lot more time to recover. So instead, we're going to use this area here between the big toe and the inside of the foot, which is going to allow us to flick the ball into that space, which means we can push it 45 degrees to get it into that space in just one single touch. And then we need to be very light on our feet to be able to accelerate into the space immediately. The longer we take, the more time we're going to give Jeff here time to recover. So we're using that inside of the foot, right between the big toe and the inside, to flick it into the space here. And as you'll notice, as I flick it, I'm in a position now where I'm on the balls of my feet so I can accelerate immediately. So let's piece it all together here. We're going to be almost upright, show the defender to this side, and then we flick it last second into the space. The second turn we're going to work on is the outside foot turn. So opposite to the first move, we're going to receive the ball with the outside of our foot and flick it 45 degrees past the defender into the created space. And a player who's absolutely mastered this move is midfield legend Thiago. Used it throughout his career to spin defenders on a dime. And what he would do is, as the ball is on its way to his feet, not only would he start to open up his body to make it seem like he's going in one direction, he would also be a little bit more relaxed with his body positioning. So as he's about to receive it, he would almost loosen up slightly, become upright. And what that does is it makes this defender, for a split second, mirror that behavior. Because if you're going 100 miles an hour, the defender's going to try and match that. And if you start to slow down, the defender also slows down. So as the ball's on its way, he would slow down for a split second, and then he would change tempo and go in the opposite direction. So something we can work on is not only opening up our hips and shoulder, but as the ball's on its way, be a little bit more relaxed and then change speed. Then to add another layer of deception, he would make it seem like he's going to push the ball with his inside foot in this direction as well. And instead of touching it, he would hover past it and then hook the ball with the outside of his foot. So it's almost a little dangle leg. As the ball's on its way, shows his hips to one side, hover, and then push the ball in the opposite direction. So now we've set up the defender for the move. It's important to get the area of the foot correct as well. So just like the first turn, we're not using the outside of our foot completely, but more so towards the little toe, because this is going to allow us to get the ball on the move, going forwards 45 degrees, all in one touch. We want to be efficient with our touches here so that we have more time and space on the opposite side of the defender. So really make contact with the ball right on this little toe here, and that's going to put you in a position where you can accelerate out of it immediately and get beyond that defender. So let's piece it together here. Ball's on its way, show one way, be a little bit relaxed, then accelerate past the defender. For the third skill, we're using the inside of our foot once again. This time we're going to be using a slightly different technique. So same preparation, making that defender believe we're turning in this direction. Then instead of tapping the ball as we did in the first move, 45 degrees here, we're going to make the defender believe we're opening up in this space, place our foot on top of the ball, right in between the sole of the foot and the inside, and then drag it across them, almost 90 degrees this time. So we're going to completely eliminate this defender with the move, then we have all this time and space on the opposite side. So for this move, we can be a bit more deceptive with our body movements. We can open up almost 90 degrees this time to really sell it that we're going in this direction. Then we're going to use that inside part of the foot, bit more towards the middle and almost underneath the foot. That's going to give us a good grip on the ball so we can pull it across our body, making a strong contact on the ball. So as the ball is coming, open up our hips, roll the ball across our body, and then push the ball with the inside into this space. Don't delay the time between that turn and push. We want to create as much space on the opposite side of the defender as possible, so make sure this action is quick. But we're going to sell it first, open up our shoulder, open up our hips in this direction to make the defender take that bait, and then we're going to spin them on the opposite side. So as the ball comes across, turn and push. For the fourth turn, we're going to take that third move we just worked on and add one extra step. So this is great. If the defender starts to read this turn now, we've done it a couple of times, we can then add one extra step so we can take the ball in the opposite direction and still remain unpredictable. So we're going to set up exactly the same way as we did for the third move, opening up that shoulder almost 90 degrees with our hips to make the defender believe we're going in this direction. And then we're going to perform that same pulling action across. And now if the defender starts to read that, that's where we can snap the ball with the inside of that same foot. So we're going to have to drop the shoulder, drop the knees slightly, almost perform a body feint to sell the defender into thinking we're going to push the ball in this direction as we have done a couple of times already. And then we're going to exploit the space on the opposite side. So as the ball comes in, open up our hips, roll across, snap, and now we have the space on the opposite side. So again, make sure the time between that pull and snap is very minimal. And if the defender doesn't bite and gives you that space, what's great here is as you pull it open, you can still take this space. But if you see them starting to anticipate that movement, you can then snap the ball across, and now you've got time and space on the opposite side. So get the technique correct first and then start to add some match intensity to it. So as the ball comes in, have a look, open up, snap, and off we go. And for the fifth and final turn, we're going to take the first move we worked on, the inside foot turn, and just add a bit more deceptiveness to it. So with the first turn, we flick the ball with the inside of our foot 45 degrees into this space. We're going to be using the exact same technique, so flicking the ball right beneath that big toe here into the space with a 45-degree first touch. But instead of going in front of our planted foot, we're going to hook the ball behind our planting foot. So this hides the ball from the defender just a bit more to make it even more deceptive. So we're going to set up exactly as we did before, start to open up our hips and shoulder in the opposite direction we want the defender to believe we're going, and then we're going to flick the ball behind that standing leg with the exact same part of the foot as we did in the first move. So as the ball's on its way, we open up our shoulders, flick the ball 45 degrees, and now we've got all this time and space. So work on it slowly. You're going to have to be a bit more nimble on your feet because you're turning a bit more aggressively from this position, and it's a little bit more awkward. But if you can be light on your feet and deceptive with the movement, again, leaving that flick till the last second and changing your tempo, you're going to get plenty of time and space on this opposite side. So let's piece it all together. Show the defender one side, flick behind the standing foot, and off we go. So there we have it, 5 moves you can use to beat a defender on the turn. And just before I go, I want to say another huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is where I built my very own website, 7mlctraining.com, and it's really allowed me to take 7mlc training to that next level. It's where I host all of my training programs, so if you want more ball mastery exercises, close control dribbling exercises, as well as fast feet, speed, and finishing, you can find programs to cover all of those attributes on my website via the link down below. If you've ever considered building a website and you don't know where to start, make sure you check out Squarespace. They make it so easy to build a professional looking website to represent your brand or your business in the best way possible. And if you sign up today, you can get a 2-week free trial so you can see your brand come to life before making it go public. So make sure you check out that link in my description. If you want 10% off your first website, it's going to be www.squarespace.com/7mlc, and that'll be in the first line of the description box down below. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.